Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler V, Series V's I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I super want these to be good because, boy, oh boy, do they smell tasty. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing that, I'm inside the truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing today? Well, it's a personal favorite super cool shirt of mine because it's boom, it's my Mega Ran super cool shirt. And I have a few Mega Ran shirts because I've seen him perform live a bunch of times. This is definitely my favorite. Like, far and away. Because I love Mega Ran. I think by the way, if you're not familiar, he is a he's a hip-hop artist most associated with the nerdcore sort of niche subgenre, which is a subgenre of hip-hop that focuses mostly on nerdy stuff, whether it's video games, D&D, anime, what have you, stuff like that. I'm a big nerd, so it definitely suits me. And on top of that, I'm just a huge fan of his work. But yeah, where was I going with that whole thing? I completely lost my train of thought. But I really like Mega Ran. That's the key thing to take away from it. He's actually a former teacher. He was like a full-on professional teacher for a number of years. He's doing the hip-hop thing, kind of in between. And eventually he went over there and he took off. And he's been doing it for years now. He's been officially recognized by Capcom, so they basically don't sue him for going over there because he uses some of their music as, beats and stuff and everything. And extremely talented guy, always pushing out new material. Like, if you want an artist who is always going to give you material, Mega Ran's the guy. Like, he comes out multiple albums a year. And they're not all video game related. Some of them are like more serious. He recently put out a kids album because he went over there, he adopted an adorable son. And, so it's like, man, he's a super good dude. I've actually got a number of videos of his performances that I've seen or that I personally attended. They're on my channel, just in case you're interested. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? Why am I super hoping that this is good? Well, folks, boom, it's from Popeyes. And this specifically, turns out that Popeyes has new flavored wings. And these are specifically, boom, these are their roasted garlic Parmesan wings. I guess Popeyes finally just decided that they were going to go over there and take on like Wingstop and Buffalo Wild Wings directly. So now they got a whole bunch of different sauces, some of which have already existed, but a few that they're just tagging in. So I got some. We're going to try them out. I'm going to try to smother this a little bit more. Just a thing. Can we? All right. Try to get it as good as I can get it. And then we're going to go over there. We're going to do a thing for the thumbnail. Ah! Ha! 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 Sure. Let's try out some chicken wings. Okay. Spicier than I thought they would be. Like, not crazy spicy, but like way spicier than I thought. Like, it gives you a kick right at the back of your throat. I don't think these were listed as being particularly spicy, but yeah, they got some oomph to them. I like it, but it's just very unexpected. I mean, these are pretty good. The chicken works because it's Popeye's chicken. It's got that delicious coating. The crunch is on point. That aspect of things, you don't even have to worry about, man. Fundamentally, it's still Popeye's chicken. It's still doing what Popeye's chicken does best. And that's be good-ass chicken. So I'm down with that. The sauce itself, the garlic Parmesan, it's good, but it's one of those things where like it's very, very, very forceful with the flavor, especially the garlic. And it's tasty. I do like it. But with it being so forceful with that garlic, it's like, it hits you, man. And then, yeah, like I said, you get that heat. It just kind of builds up and goes right to the back of your throat. I mean, I like it. Yeah. Because fundamentally, it's taking two things and making them work. You got Popeyes chicken, which is always really good at making fried chicken. And then you're just going over there, taking, again, sort of like a Wingstop or a Buffalo Wild Wings type approach, putting on a tasty sauce. It works. No two ways about it. In this instance, it's just kind of how well it works overall, I guess. I'm going to say overall, I think it works really well. I'm going to say, actually, I think this works really, really well. I like this a lot. I think it's one of those things where I went over there, you saw with that first one. I tried to slather it in the as much of the sauce as possible. But I think that in this instance, kind of want to avoid doing that. Because what you want is kind of a drizzle of the sauce. Because when you have that, the roasted garlic aspect isn't as punchy. And because you don't just want to taste the sauce, you want to taste the sauce and you want to have it work with the super tasty chicken. When you have too much of the sauce, kind of overpowers it. You don't get as much of that nice Popeyes taste. And it's almost too punchy. But when you get it a little bit more sort of scattered about, that's when you can really appreciate not only the Popeyes chicken, but you can appreciate the sauce because it's not punching you in the face. Because the sauce itself is very tasty. It reminds me almost like of a garlic dressing for like a salad, but more herby, and then it's got that heat to it. I mean, yeah, I'm down with it. But yeah, definitely, I would say the thing that is most reminiscent to me is is like I said, like a garlic dressing. But obviously, it's definitely thicker. It's just, it really is one of those things where you'd almost be better off of getting the sauce separately, which I don't know if you can do, but you'd almost be better off getting the sauce separately and kind of applying it to your level of enjoyment. Because, again, I think too much of it, it just overwhelms it. But when you get the right amount, it's like perfect. So, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I'm going to go with yes and yes. I think that, I've tried out like their ghost pepper wings in the past. Go watch that review. They have some other ones available. I will probably get around to those, at some point. A little bit of a drink. Dr. Pepper is good. I gotta remember, I have a soda in the freezer. But this as a first outing is a good one. Now the thing is, if I'm comparing it, is it as good as, say, like, your Wingstops, your Buffalo Wild Wings? Better chicken, for sure. Sauce-wise, I think it's early days. I think that I've definitely had sauces from those establishments that I don't like as much as this one, but I've also had sauces from both of those establishments that I like more than this one. But I do think it's a good sauce overall. It's an interesting, sort of first foray into the whole thing. I mean, even though it's not really the first, but, kind of their whole thing with it. But again, a lot of it is just going to be finding the best way to coat it and stuff like that. Yeah. But I do think overall I would still recommend it because, like, they are tasty. And I've certainly had similar tasting things in the past, but that on top of Popeye's chicken is a really nice combination, man. Because, again, in terms of the chicken, you're definitely getting better chicken than you are at, like, Buffalo Wild Wings or Wingstop. Like, just that crunchiness, that, that Popeyes, that fundamental Popeyes experience. Getting that with some really tasty sauces, as long as it's done in the proper proportions, that's extremely tasty. So, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. You go over there, have yourselves a truly